Kelsey Riss of The Athletic. J.B. to start off Isaac's corner three and just kind of that whole sequence, but especially for Isaac to hit that shot in that moment with everything that he's been through, just kind of finding that confidence to say just about him.
We always laugh, but like Isaac doesn't play the game with any emotion or any fears. There's no reservations in his game. He works his tail off on that shot, and he does not have fear of taking shots in the moment. But I think that was most important is Karras saw that he was open, trusted him, and got him the ball. And that speaks to this team.
Kind of going off that, can you walk us through sort of the end of that whole sequence, because it was kind of a scramble there. You saw kind of how it all played out.
We obviously, I thought we did a great job defensively of getting some stops to put ourselves in that position. You missed the free throw. We had multiple opportunities at it, but guys didn't quit on the play. And we talk about, winning 50-50 balls, winning the scrap, and the ball was loose. And I thought Karras, again, did a great job of coming up with it, attacking the broken floor and hitting the wide open guy, and Isaac knocked it down.
And bigger picture, talking about sort of this 2-game series, playoff prep, etc. For the way that you guys were able to respond through the fourth quarter, being down, being able to battle through that, what does that say just about the good steps you guys are taking?
The thing that I think was impressive about it was wasn't just the same guys, right? Like, we relied on Evan Mobley in that fourth quarter. So you talk about growth, you talk about development, impact on winning. Evan Mobley was a dominant force on both sides of the floor in the fourth quarter. Again, a guy who doesn't get a lot of post touches, but got the ball tonight in his spot and went to work. When he wasn't finishing, he was sharing and creating. He was blocking shots. When he wasn't blocking them, he was going to get the rebound to help us finish possessions. So we don't win that game if Evan Mobley doesn't have the performance that he did tonight.
Danny Cunningham, ESPN Cleveland. I know you touched on Isaac already a little bit, but what can coming through in that kind of moment on the road, fourth quarter comeback, tough environment do for a guy like him?
It's just the belief that you can. But again, you guys know Isaac a little bit, but being around Isaac as much as we are, it doesn't bother him. Like what people may say, how defenses may play him, none of that stuff impacts him. And it's an uncanny thing where he's not swayed by emotion or opinion. Like if he's in that spot and he's open, he's going to continue to take those shots. And he hit a big one tonight.
I know the other night you talked about the intensity level in the fourth quarter not being where it needed to be. What did you think of that as a whole tonight?
Again, I thought we were better later. I still think there were moments defensively, especially in that first half, where we weren't at our best. I thought we lost, some individual battles, guarding our guy in one-on-one situations and then not helping each other. But what I thought we did was, we gave ourselves a chance, and we made enough defensive plays at the end of the game to steal one.
Evan Damar, right down you. You touched on Evan a little bit, but how huge was his back-to-back defense on those possessions on Spencer Dinwiddie down the stretch?
He is one of the most versatile defensive bigs in our game. I can't think of many that are better than him, to be honest with you. A guy has the ability to guard post-ups, to guard and protect the rim, and then switch and guard smalls on the perimeter and keep them in front of them and make it extremely difficult for them to score. We're fortunate to have him with us, but these are the things that we talk about when we brag on Evan about what the future is going to look like for him, and he just continues to take steps and prove us right.
And we had talked a lot about this between this game and prior to this game about just adjustments. You guys make obviously Brooklyn adjustments as well. Maybe this is a great game. How do you think your guys respond to just the greatness that Brooklyn bring you?
I thought, and I give them, Brooklyn, a ton of credit. They came out with an edge, and I thought, again, that kind of caught us off guard in the first half. But our guys figured out a way to stick with it. When you can, as we've always been able to do, bank on our defense, you're going to give yourself a chance. But, we got extremely fortunate down the stretch with some plays that had to go our way. So tip your hat to the Nets for sure.
Yes.
Thinking back to last year, when you guys faced Brooklyn in the play-in, and Isaac's played them, just kind of thinking about this whole year and what has just stood out about Isaac, the work that he's put in, but just also the way that he's found himself and found his role through all the ups and downs.
Yeah, he's made himself invaluable. And I know people always want to harp on offense because it's pretty cute. But Isaac does so much for us when he's on the floor that a lot of people just don't want to do. He always takes the assignment. He's the one who gets hit on more screens than anybody. People are physical with him. He's banged up, bumped and bruised, but he never says no and he never stops. Again, it's his commitment and to be a part of this team and know what he has to do to help, but go out and do it, without any complaint and a lot of times without a lot of reward because what he does isn't pretty.
And we talk about all the time the continuous conversations with guys, but with him specifically and obviously kind of over his career here, how have those conversations evolved just with him kind of being that defensive threat and that being his focus, but just kind of being able to help him grow, I guess?
He has just embraced how he helps. And there are certain things that he does on the defensive end of the floor that are just elite. His ability to get through screens, his ability to deny guys the ball, his ability to keep guys in front of him. He is elite at that. And when you get in these games against these caliber players, that's what it's going to come down to. It's going to come down to how many times can you guard your man. And you need guys like Isaac. And then obviously, he's 3 for 4 from the corners. His teammates, again, trusted him. He took the shots with confidence and knocked them down.
Yeah. At times tonight, whether it was Evan having a mismatch down low or Claxton on him, it seemed like getting him the ball with his back to the basket was an emphasis. Is that something coming from him being more assertive? His teammates noticing that? The sidelines, where's that coming from?
I mean, it's a combination of things, right, where it's what we practice. We work on it, and then you watch the translation from practice to the game, and then his teammates recognize, that he's kicking ass, and now it's like, we got to feed him. And then, him being more assertive and continuing to do it. So I think it's a combination of all those things. But again, it's the recognition of his teammates because that's the tough part for big guys, right? Like somebody's always got to throw him the ball. But I think it was their recognition of what he was doing and wanting to get him the ball in his spots, and then he was going to work.